Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie's Cards here for Pawsome Stamps today, and I'm creating some fun festive bookmarks for you today. So I pulled out my Jolly Cupcakes stamp set. I adore this one. I believe it was released in 2021, I want to say. So it's an oldie but a goodie. I just think these little cupcakes are super cute. I have stamped out 3 of them there, and I'm using my Ohuhu Markers today, so those are the colours that I have using. I did end up pulling out one Copic marker just for my snowman's nose because I didn't pull out an orange Ohuhu marker, and the Copics are really handy on my desk. I need to kind of swap them out and put my Ohuhu markers in my Copic marker storage, I think. Haven't done that yet, but maybe a job to do over the winter break. So I am obviously using traditional reds and greens and a little bit of kind of a bluish tinge for my little snowman there. These cupcakes are so fun. They make really fun festive cards, but as I say, I'm creating bookmarks today. Now, I always give my children at least one book at Christmas time, and I like to throw in a little bookmark as well. So I always like to make a little bookmark for them, and I decided this year that these little cupcakes would be perfect little additions to my bookmarks. These are they're just fun, and yeah, like I say, I make them every year at Christmas time normally. Sometimes I make them throughout the year as well. But we have several of these bookmarks floating around now, and I find them lots of fun and useful as well. We do use them. We try not to bend the pages of our books. I try to teach my children to be good like that. So these bookmarks are really handy. And as I say, it's a nice little extra to throw in with their Christmas book that they get each year. So I am just colouring in my little cupcakes with the Ohuhu markers. I've used some traditional colours, as I've said. I will leave a list of all the markers that I've used down below so that if you're interested in the colour combinations, you can find them down there. And I'll leave you now with just a little bit of music while I finish off the colouring. Okay, so that's all the colouring done. I went ahead and cut those little images out, and now I have my bookmarks here all ready to go. So I have used a die for my bookmarks. You obviously don't need to. You can just cut a rectangle of cardstock, but I do have several bookmark dies, so I just picked one to use. So what I like to do is to layer these up so that I have a nice firm bookmark. So I have 110-pound white cardstock, and then a piece of pattern paper on each side of that, sandwiched with some liquid glue. And as I say, this just creates a really nice, sturdy, strong bookmark that's going to hold up to a little bit of wear and tear. I like to use the liquid glue because it's nice and strong and it holds everything together very well. So I will do the same for all three of my bookmarks, and I've also punched a little hole in the top of those as well. And now it's time to pop my little images down on top. And I also have those little circles. I'll show you what I'm going to be using those for in just a second. Again, just using liquid glue to pop my images down. I am using one image per bookmark and just placing them up near the top part of my bookmark there. I like to use pattern paper just to make it a little bit more interesting instead of just plain white cardstock. Also, obviously, if they're being pulled in and out of books and put in bags and all sorts, they can get a bit dirty, so the pattern paper covers up any marks as well, rather than the white cardstock. So these little circles, I'm going to add a little sentiment on. So in this Jolly Cupcakes stamp set, there is a sentiment that says, "Have a holly jolly Christmas." I stamped it out in red ink onto the center of each one of those little white circles. And again, I'm just using liquid glue to attach those down towards the bottom of my bookmarks. So just a fun little sentiment to add on, and I thought it was kind of cute. And it just kind of breaks up all of that pattern paper a little bit, so it's not kind of so full on. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but yeah, it just breaks it up a little bit. Okay, next up I have some twine. I have a little bit of red and white and a little bit of green and white twine that I am using, just cut to the same lengths and popped through the holes there and attached to the top of my bookmark. So you don't have to do this added step. You can go even more blingy than I did and add beads or jingle bells or all sorts to that twine at the top. I kept mine fairly simple, just with the twine itself, but definitely beads and jingle bells would be a fun addition. I can imagine not hearing the end of the jingle bells all through Christmas morning. So yeah, probably not a good idea for me. But if you have more sensible children who don't jangle around, then maybe. Next up, I just have these little red, white and pink hearts, and I decided to attach those down on top of that little white circle. I debated putting a pink heart in as well, kept that idea there for a little while, but in the end I decided to go for all red hearts, and I will pick some out of that little jar there. There's tons in this jar, and yeah, as always, I found that I couldn't get the red ones out. I got every other colour. But yeah, I decided just to go with red rather than add the pink in there, just to keep it all looking the same. I added 3 little hearts to each of my sentiments, and I don't know if you noticed that one of my sentiments, I got a little blob of ink on there, so I'm using the heart to cover that up, which is quite handy. So I'm using my little jewel picker here and my liquid glue again, and just dabbing a touch of glue down and popping the hearts on top. And hopefully they will stay in place nicely. Like I say, this is quite nice, strong glue, so it's quite good and holds things down quite well. But once that is done, that is my little bookmarks complete. So I have a little trio here, one for each of my children, which I will pop inside their Christmas book for Christmas Day. So I hope you enjoyed this one today. I had a lot of fun putting these little bookmarks together. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, please do give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And please do subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you come back and join me again. Take care.